So when I was taking the bridge off this guitar, the screw snapped below the surface of the body, and I had to drill out the screw and make a little screw extractor and put this piece of dowel in there so I have something new to put the bridge back in. And I wanted to share with you how I made the screw extractor. This isn't my idea, but I saw somebody on YouTube using a tension pin, which you can get at a hardware store. This is a 3/16 inch tension pin. And they filed the tension pin at the top and chucked it up in the drill, and were able to drill it out. You can buy a screw extractor from like StewMac, but they're really quite expensive. So I thought, even if this takes a little longer, I'll give it a shot. It actually worked out quite well. I wanted to share with you what I did. This is a little model of what a tension pin looks like. A tension pin is nothing more than a spring that opens and closes like this. And it comes like this with this gap in there. So what I'm planning to do is put this in a vise, and I'm going to pretend this is a hacksaw. I'm going to cut across it like this, directly across from this gap. And I'll wind up with something like this. We'll have this ridge in there. So then I'm going to think about how this will turn counterclockwise. So I'm going to want an edge down here and an edge here. So it's double check that. Yeah, so then what I'm going to do is take my file and file down here, wind up with something a little sloppy, but something like this. And then I'll take my file here and do it the opposite way and wind up with something like this. So when this goes down and turns counterclockwise, those 2 points will bore into the wood and extract the screw. What I'm going to do is try to cut some teeth. Okay, I think I'm going to go with just the one set of teeth. I'm not going to try to cut it again here. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to take a file, and first I'm going to think about how I want this to turn. Because it's a screw extractor, I want it to turn counterclockwise. So what I'm going to want is this edge to be higher. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this half of the bit and lower it with a file. So this edge catches as it comes around, and then this edge catches as it comes around. So what I'm saying is I'm going to want, let me get a little file here, is I want this corner of this to be higher than this corner, and this corner to be higher than that one. So I'm going to file this down in a slight angle here. You know, I've got an idea. Maybe if I put a radius gauge in there or something, I can stop it. Maybe an Extractor blade. I can stop it from nicking the corner. Now if I do the same thing this way, so now I say we give it a try. Yeah, I'm gonna file some more. Put that in there again. Okay, so what I've basically made is a very dull bit that that may or may not cut a plug, but we're going to give it a try. I'm going to get a piece of scrap. There's a piece of pine. Tighten this down. Grab a drill and chuck this up. So something I haven't done is I have not put anything inside this tension pin to stop it from getting compressed by the chuck. So this may or may not, this may or may not hold in the chuck. We'll just have to see. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna chuck this up. I'm gonna run the drill counterclockwise, which is the way I cut the teeth to cut, the way I filed the teeth to cut. And by running it counterclockwise, if I'm trying to extract a screw, that motion might actually turn the screw to get it out, or at the very least it will cut around it. But what it definitely won't do is turn the screw further in and create more of a problem. Now you can see that did cut a little bit out. The reason I stopped is I heard the pin slip further back in the chuck. You can clean these out like this. If you have trouble, you can always unchuck it. I'll try that again. Now that the bit is all the way in the drill, maybe we'll have better luck. I would use a drill guide if I were working on a guitar. You'd see this will dance around before it grabs. Now that was taking more energy than I'd like to get the bit to grab and cut. But it did, you know, and if you were removing a small screw, that would do it. If your spring pin won't hold in the chuck because the chuck is you know, bending the spring in and it comes loose, you can put something, a bit of dowel or a bit of metal like that in the other side, the unsharpened side of the bit, and that will give the chuck something more solid to grab onto. I'm going to grab something to push this through. So I'm still not sure that my filing has sharpened that corner as much as I want. So maybe I'll try a different tool.
This might be interesting because this is a fret, StuMac, this is a fret dressing file. Maybe I can get this in there because it has that, the edge that is not, that doesn't cut, that can lay against the side. It won't cut the side that I don't want it to. Yeah, I think that's going to be more like it. Turn that around, go the other way. Yeah, that's much sharper.
Turn that on as slow as I can go. It's going to hit this at an angle here. Right on. So now let's see if I got it any sharper. I'm going to learn my lesson. I'm going to chuck this all the way back in the drill. And I'm turning this counterclockwise. Let's see if it makes any difference. Yeah, that actually cuts quite a bit better. I think part of the issue is the bit fills up and you got to clean it. Let's try to cut more. I think that cutting quite a bit better. How I'm cleaning this is I unchuck it, I put a drill bit in there and push it through like that. Do one more. I first want to make sure that, oh, that actually went all the way through the board. I thought maybe it slipped in the chuck, but it went all the way through. Let's try one more. See if the bit's holding up at all. About a 1/4 inch. Clean the bit. And then try it again. I think it was in this hole. Making sure. So this is how I'm cleaning it, like this. Put the bit in there, push it out. Yeah, I'm going to hang on to this one. This is better than the first one I made.